Hi, and welcome to Grazia and Femina's Fashion First. Our guests today are here to talk about the new Festive and how, as designers, they're navigating the new world. We have with us today designers Monisha Jaising, Payal Singhal, and Shane and Falguni Peacock. Today, we're here to talk about the new Festive. With the onset of the season, which is festive and bridal that seems to be coming up right now, we wanted to shine the spotlight on how the world of retail has been innovating and creating a host of solutions to keep up with the new normal. How is fashion reacting to the new normal? Are we here to build a little bit of positive equity for our brands? So I wanted to start this out by asking the designer fraternity about how is it that the consumer is reacting to the state of affairs right now. Are they shopping? Is the season, the near bridal season that's coming up, the festive season that's coming up, are they thinking about buying? And if they're thinking, do they have a different point of view about how they want to dress right now? Monisha, you want to give me a little bit of your thoughts on this?
Okay, hello, hi, this is Monisha. And well, I'll tell you, COVID-19 has had huge economic, repercussions on every sector of business. And fashion actually is the worst affected because it's not a necessity. Even though, you see things opening up all around you, people are traveling, and I mean, I believe, restaurants are opening now, and I believe that they're going, pretty full with, social distancing and all. But shopping is something that's still, taking a back seat. From what I see is that if at all there's any shopping happening, it is happening digitally. Actually, walking into like a brick and mortar store and feeling, touching, trying on all that, which was such a great experience earlier, is still not happening as much. And if it is, it's happening more for someone who just wants to get out and to spend a day at a store or at a mall to feel good and to feel normal anymore. But actually going and buying as they used to from brick and mortar is really not happening anymore. Yes, the digital space is doing well, and that is going to be the future of fashion now.
Payal, let me ask you this. Are you designing for the new normal? Has your aesthetic, have you had to tweak it a little bit to kind of change it to the actual changes that are happening outside our window right now?
Yeah, we totally have. I mean, as a brand, we've always been a brand which has kind of, adapted to the time and the need of the hour. Like I started the label 20 years back, and the product line has expanded so much just on a client demand, sentiment. So what happened is during the pandemic, we started to notice that people were looking at more like maybe things that they could wear for smaller occasions, things at home, celebrations at home, athleisure, loungewear, and we've adapted to all of those, and we have all those lines. We've quickly, put together. I think the one thing which has helped us during the pandemic has been to quickly adapt and pivot the brand. So creating product lines which are relevant to the clientele today. We always had a website, but we spent a lot more time concentrating on the website and kind of putting together these products onto the website really quickly. So yes, we absolutely created products right from mass to athleisure to loungewear and, very inclusive festive line, and even some celebrate from home pieces. Because that was the need of the hour and people have responded. So, it's in that way it's worked.
So I want to ask Shane and Falguni, who've actually just even had a couture show recently. Couture is about excess, but currently people are talking about less being the new more. Have you guys had to also think about that? Or are there two parallel conversations that are still going on in which couture exists? There are your buyers who are coming for that kind of stuff, and maybe for your fret line, you had to make a few changes. I mean, your thoughts?
I think, we were very skeptical about Couture Week. And when we showed at Couture Week, we didn't alter any designs. In fact, we made some of our garments even more elaborate. And I'm surprised that, after the collection had gone to our stores, there have been people who are coming in shopping. So we've not seen that much of a change in people opting out. Okay, now it's my wedding, so I'm not going to buy a couture outfit. I may buy athleisure and go. That change is not happening. So people are going to wear, appropriate clothing for the weddings. And I think that change we've not seen.
So the thing is that when a bride comes and she wants something for her day, whether there are 50 people or 100 people attending, they still want to look the best, So yes, I think the budget may be a little 10-20%. People say that, oh, there are not too many people coming, so I really don't want to go all out. But they are still,
and there are saying make it a little more heavier.
Yeah,
not compromising on everything else. I don't want to compromise on them.
Exactly. So in terms of, there are two different kind of brides who are coming, but the family now really wants beautiful pictures, really wants to capture those moments, and every wedding, in the Indian family, really, it means everything to the girl. So I do feel that there are two very contrasting opinions about it.
I think they're parallel conversations, Vernas, because the bridal market, like Shane and Falguni are saying, same with us. We haven't seen any compromise in that, but the weddings are fewer and far apart and they're just smaller. But we're talking about what is the day-to-day need of the hour of clothing. So like I said, they're not contrasting, they're parallel. They're both happening. Couture is definitely not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And, honestly, the person who can afford couture, very few of those people are affected in this, they can easily tide 1, 2, 3 years without making profit in their businesses. It's not a salaried employee, let's be honest, who's affording couture.
I also wanted to ask you all about innovating with smaller sublines, capsule collections, even diversifying in the products that you're offering. Payal, I know you have a ton of collaborations that are coming up because, I know that you've been doing a lot of stuff. Is there anything else that you're innovating with? Any of you are thinking about doing like maybe another burst of a capsule collection or innovating your line or a vertical or any of that?
Let me tell you one thing, that I have reduced my production considerably. Before COVID, I thought the world was overproducing. Everybody was. The entire rag trade, or should I say the rat trade, was overproducing to an extent that we were abusing the environment. It was a race of a turnover. Who's going to make the largest turnover? Zara did this, so and so did this, Shane did this, Monisha did this, Payal did this. So it was to get the turnover that everybody was overproducing. So we kind of abused, the environment. I think now everyone is looking at a production that's more specific, that's more the need of the hour. And fashion is not just about weddings or the bride. It's even about the 1,000 people that used to attend, those big fat weddings. Now, if those 1,000 people have been reduced to only 50 or 100 people, that just shows you how much the business has shrunk in the whole couture space, because it was not just about dressing the bride. It was even the 1,000 people that were attending the weddings, that were wearing couture. And so as you can see that the market has shrunk. Yes, of course. I get that the bride will, still want to look good. But we have lost out on 90% of the attendees, which is where a huge chunk of the fashion revenue would come from. So basically, I think that designers worldwide have kind of curbed down their production lines. Even the super luxury brands have, curbed down their production. I believe Chanel has, stopped production for the next year at least of their, handbags. And so it's basically now everyone is rethinking, sustainability is coming back. Mind you, I'm saying it, I do not make sustainable garments. You've seen my garments, but I'm now looking into all areas, to see as to how I can save the environment and, besides the business, I think now we need to live in a world which is eventually going to be virus free and, not, abusing the environment.
Right. Shane and Falguni, I wanted to ask you if you guys have thought about putting out maybe a capsule collection or innovating within your lines to create maybe a new vertical or just general innovations to keep up with the situation.
If you've been following the brand, you know that we have a Pret line, we have a luxury line, we have a diffusion line, we have a bridge line, we have a resort line, and then we have a main label, and then we have the bridal line and the couture line.
Right.
So we have different verticals in within our brand, and we have not changed anything. We kept everything the same. We've not altered it because right now people are not buying. In fact, we want to retain the essence of the brand and not change it for anyone.
So the thing is that, yes, we want to maintain the essence of the brand, but like the way we would make like really large collections and large products, that we are not doing. We are keeping the line restricted. We are making the right pieces. We are not making where we would make 200 designs. We are making like 50. But we are making the right kind of pieces, which will be appropriate for the coming year, 2021, 2020. And people are buying. Yes, people are thinking it over because see, when the lockdown started, we were all confused. God knows where we are going and how it's going to be, But now I think everyone's getting on their feet. Business is getting back. People are feeling the need to, indulge a bit. Everyone's looked inside themselves, rethought the business, model, rethought that, okay, we don't want to overproduce, we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. But now people also, we have to innovate in what situation we are. And I think that's the best way we have reduced our production, but we have, thought what we were doing. We want to, what do we say? We want to think it over and do. We just don't want to be rash about things and do.
If you were making samples, I would keep on making samples to see what looks good.
Yeah,
so now we don't make that many samples. We make a limited amount of samples. But innovation is key. I think this time has brought us to think of how we have designed for the next 2 years, I think so.
Yeah, I think the lockdown really gave us time enough to, think what we're going to do for the next 2 years, what we want to expand and what we don't want to do anymore. Yeah. And that's what the lockdown was used for. At least we did that.
Okay, another question. Are we looking at new ways to reach out to your consumer? Given that the language of marketing has changed, yes, maybe, of course, things have turned more digital. Is there something new that any of you are exploring in terms of reaching out to your consumer and just engaging with them?
I think as if you've been following Falguni, Shane, Peacock, we already had our websites on for, I don't know how many years, about 10 years. We had virtual styling on our website 3 years before the lockdown. So because we deal a lot with the US market and people can't really fly down there. So we have a virtual styling feature on our website. And this was been, I think, for almost 3.5 years now since this feature is on our website. We also have a magazine, a digital platform where we show how we could wear our clothes. Yeah, it was quite sweet. So we've been doing this, and I think this month completes 3 years for the magazine. So as far as marketing also is concerned, we've been pushing boundaries. We have shoppable videos. We have, in fact, this Couture Week, we are the first ones, I think, so to do actual virtual show where you could actually wear it and virtually be there. So we've shot it in 360, So you could wear the Oculus and you can watch it. You feel like you're actually in the show. So we've been pushing boundaries as far as technology is also concerned, and there are a lot more lined up for what we should implement in this new virtual world that we're living in.
So here's another question. How relevant are trends right now? Payal, you want to take that one up?
I think, when you're talking about seasonless fashion, we're
Yes.
talking about, getting rid of trends. But I mean, there's always going to be something which is in fashion, and you can't take that away, because that's about holistic lifestyle, right? I mean, it's about the time you live in, the environment, and even things like politics and COVID will influence fashion. So I don't think trends are not relevant. It's about, like today, for example, stay-at-home fashion is a trend. So it's essentially a trend, and it's not going to go away. But I think people are leaning towards more classic pieces, things which are more timeless, or maybe things like, if they were investing in a certain designer or a brand, things that they can wear more often, things they can wear in multiple ways. I think that's the difference in what you call as like trend right now, that people want to invest in pieces versus buy fast fashion. Like everyone has said, all the designers have reduced production. The first thing we did when the pandemic hit was to get more mindful about our production, because A, you already have stock, and B, you don't want to produce stock which you don't know whether it's going to sell or not. So right there, we limited the number of offerings that we are giving to our clientele. So that also influences the way people buy. So people are buying more classics versus more trend items. But that in itself is a trend.
Correct. That's true. Monisha, what's your take on that?
I think fashion is something, it's, like an escape world. So, I mean, like, you don't only have, fashion in clothing, but you have, fashion, in the way you live, in what you eat, in your lifestyle, in products you buy, whether it's a phone or water bottle or whatever, there's fashion and trend everywhere. And I don't think that, trends are going to go, but, what's going to happen is you're going to be more innovative, where you're going to create your own trend. Like, you can just, pull something out of your wardrobe. It can be something old. You just have to style it a different way, and voila, you have a new trend. So I think I don't think that trends and fashion, which is an escape world, is going to go, but it's going to be more innovative. People are going to style themselves, to create that trend. And it's not just about buying fashion, to be trendy. You can be trendy and, create a trend even without buying clothes. So that thought process of trend and the future is what it promises will not go.
Thank you. Also, I want to ask the same thing.
I'd like to add to this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wanted to ask you.
Since everyone is on social media, and social media is a big demon as of now. We witnessed a lot of people who bought something would not wear it for the second time because they've already posted on, wearing that picture. So the need for more, the need for excess is, I think it's a demand as of today's date, and I see it with Falguni also. So like saying, I've already been shot in this, I don't want to post this picture. It's a fact. So I feel that I'm seeing a lot more change. People, the way they're buying, the way that people are living, call it a fake world, call it whatever it is wants. But people are going towards that excess, and that's not going to stop. So even if the pandemic was there, I've been following so many people. They have not repeated their clothes. They have not changed.
I think that's changed, Shane. That's not the case anymore.
This is the second time I'm wearing this.
No,
Yeah, that's what. Right there. That is
actually the third time.
That's fine. What I'm trying to say, I'm seeing everyone in an excess form.
No, but the thing is that now people are... See, I would wear a jacket on this and make it look different. And I think people are putting an effort now to really innovate within their wardrobe.
That's
And that is what
that's what I said. You're styling yourself differently.
Differently. And the thing is that now people are really, these 3 months have given everyone so much time to think and reevaluate the way they look at life. And I feel like, there are so many things in my wardrobe which I haven't worn. I'd rather give it to someone who would wear it, or I restyle them differently and just put it on. So things have changed.
That's what changed. So what I was saying is that even someone like Falguni, or say like Monisha, me, who are like the kind of girls who are like, we're in fashion, we don't want to repeat and stuff. this whole...
Oh, I repeat. Hello. I repeat. I'm totally vintage. I'm wearing my Japan t-shirt, which I wear.
But I'm just saying, I've seen a massive mindset change, even in the so-called fashionistas who have been our customers, who have been, like, there was actually this there was this thing where they started a website where you could buy on Instagram outfits for $5 just to wear digitally so that you don't repeat your outfit. It's just like a digital outfit for $5. And, it's like a kind of a, software or whatever. But the point is, I think even the most excessive and the most flamboyant and fashionable girls have started to, this 6 months has shifted. I'm not going to say they're not going to buy their fancy brands and they're not going to buy, but they have changed a little bit. You cannot leave this time untouched, right? It's like today, like, I don't feel the need to buy the newest bag. I mean, I haven't bought a bag in 6 months, which is unheard of for me, right? Falguni is very So I'm saying that whether we like it or not, there is that customer who is Shane and Falguni's customer, or say Monisha's, even more than mine, who is not affected by the pandemic because of the kind of background or society they come from. Because, I mean, there are a lot of people who are doctors, pharmacists, business owners. I have so many friends who have, who own pharmaceutical companies. They are not affected at all. I have a friend who sells Purell. So you can imagine what has happened to his business. So, but the thing is that even holistically, your mindset has changed a little bit. Like, maybe you'll use that money. So clothing is definitely without, we're talking about a general mindset, a more of a international, all over the world mindset. It has become of little bit of less consumption, because I am guilty. People like Falguni are probably guilty of over shopping, over consuming, right? And I have not. Yes, Shane is like, so I have not, if I have not bought anything, just like maybe a few things, friends had pop-ups online, this, that, to encourage and to, help them out. I bought stuff, but actively I have not bought anything new in 6 months. So I think it is a real impact that people, maybe it'll become okay next year. Maybe it will change, and let's hope it will, right? But the mindful consumption and the mindful production is definitely changed. All the designers and all the consumers is what I feel.
I agree with you, Payal. Yeah.
So, okay. So just wanted to round this off and just ask you what you're thinking about. What do you think about navigating ahead? Because right now we don't know if this situation continues for 3 months, for 6 months, for longer. Yes, we've talked about changing consumption patterns, being more mindful in the way we consume in general. Do you see a pattern for yourself and your brand in the next 6 months?
Is that for me?
Yeah. I mean, it's a rounding off question for all three.
Oh, okay.
Monisha, go first, or Payal go first?
I'll take it.
Yeah, we're just rounding up with this, just one last question.
So I'll take it. So basically, everybody, like you said, these 3 to 6 months, we've all spent a lot of time reassessing where we are at in terms of a business, where we want to be, because you have to have a proper path. You can't just be, this is not one of those things that you can just wing it. So you have to have a plan. And I think for us as a brand going forward, definitely not overproducing and having a much more mindful attitude towards production has happened. We've started to keep, a lot of us as brands had started to excessively spend on stuff which we didn't even need, in terms of gifting, marketing, taking part in events. It had just become, it's like, oh, it's happening, we'll do it. There was actually, internationally, people sit and have financial plans for stuff like this. In our case, it's more like what Monisha said. Everybody's looking at each other and saying, oh, you're doing this, I'll do this. And it had become such a kind of unending desire to kind of compete that we didn't even have. So I isolated myself from the rest of the brands and decided what we as a company, as a brand, as a family, because ours is a family-run business, would like to do. And we started to experiment and, increase and diversify our product lines. Like Shane and Falguni too, we also have several verticals, but within those verticals, we started to see certain verticals were more desired. So we started to spend more time and concentrate on those. And I think I see the way forward for our brand to become more of a lifestyle brand versus it just being a clothing brand, which anyways, since the last 4 or 5 years is where we were headed. And I feel like the fashion industry will bounce back because fashion is a form of expression. So you are not going to be able to curb somebody. It's like saying that you will not have filmmaking or you will not have art. It's not possible. So you need clothing to express yourself. You may not want to have 10 outfits, but you definitely want to have one outfit to express yourself. So I see the future of fashion regaining normalcy in a year or so. And till then, it's a challenge to all of us and a very interesting challenge, which I think all of us have come out of it much better, having taken this challenge on. I think we've cleaned up our acts. Our businesses are performing better. They're more streamlined. We've cut down waste costs. And I think we're soon going to become more profitable than we used to be. So I honestly see this as a weird blessing in disguise.
Good to know. Monisha?
Yeah, actually, I kind of agree with what Payal just said. I actually feel that, that the slump in the economy, that happened, pre-COVID. I mean, I don't know whether the others, noticed it, but I think the world knew that there was a pre-COVID slump in the economy. It was not just COVID, we already saw a slump in the economy. And so that kind of, prepared all of us even before COVID came. So at least me, with my brand, I mean, I've had my fashion brand, for the past 30 years. And, we do everything from, athleisure, sportswear, we have a cruise wear line, we have a resort wear line, we have an ethnic kurti line. Then we have the Monisha Jaising gowns and the couture. So we have a lot of, lines. Plus, I've got this other new brand, that I started with, Shweta Bachchan Nanda, it's called MXS, which does, luxury pret. So we already saw, the slump in the economy. So we already started preparing before COVID. We started getting careful and, offering, better prices, for a good product, because the consumer is very smart. One click of the button and, you have 30 products, all in the luxury range, all beautiful and, at different prices. So basically the consumer at the end of the day is looking now for a very good product at the right price. So, we got onto the pricing a lot, and I think that change has, helped us. And it's helping us now because, we've just come up with a very affordable line in, MXS and in Monisha Jaising. And we can see the customers, coming in, into the, into the store, but, not so much. But yes, on our websites, surely, daily. And, we can see the change that just this affordable pricing and just that, giving the same product, but at a better price has worked.
That's good to hear. And yes, rounding it off, Shane and Falguni, just your thoughts.
Any you want to say?
I agree with Payal and I agree with Monisha also. And this is one discussion we've been having with Falguni and myself constantly, of reducing prices. And I have this argument with her that we're not going to reduce our prices at all, but we're going to make a better product. So we focus on, on bettering the product rather, sorry to contradict you, Monisha, here, but to make the product cheaper, because I feel if somebody is looking at Falguni and Shane Peacock, they're looking at a certain quality, they're looking at a certain image or an aesthetic of a brand. And that is something that we don't want to dilute or don't want it to come down. So we've started offering a larger range of quality products. And this has always been a debate between Falguni and myself.
No, but the key is to give the same product at a better price. So I'm not telling you to give a lower product at a lower price. The same product or a better product at a better price.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. A lot of insightful take back for our readers today. And I hope the next 6 months and a year is a good and positive time for all of us up ahead, and all our businesses and everything together.
I think I'm already starting to see that everyone's being positive. If you go out on the streets of Mumbai, it doesn't look like that pandemic is right now.
Hopefully festive vibes also.
I think this stressful thing change things around.
Yeah.
And I wish everyone best of luck. Everyone bounce back.
Yes.
And that's what we need. We need positive vibes right now.
Lots of positive.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Thank you all of you so much.
Thank you.
For joining us.